Despite this game coming out in 2002, I finally played Star Wars Bounty Hunter. And by finally played, I meant I finally finished it. I played this game way back when there was a blockbuster, but never got around to beating it. But now I did. And Jesus Christ. This game came out to hype up the DVD release of Attack of the Clones. Bounty Hunter takes place sometime after the events of Phantom Menace. You play as Jango Fett, hired by Darth Tyrannus to take down a target, and all you have is a face and a name. Throughout the entire game, Jango Fett has to learn more clues about who this person is, where they are, so he can track them down. Little does he know until the very end that she is a Dark Jedi. And no, I'm not spoiling it because they tell you who she is in the opening. Well, not everything, just the fact that she's a Dark Jedi. So you know she's a Dark Jedi, and Count Dooku knows she's a Dark Jedi, but Jango does not. But Jango's not the only one that's hunting down this target, as another rival of his is also on the hunt, played by Clancy Brown, which is great. This game surprised me in so many ways, especially at the difficulty, because it went from 0 to 100 like really quickly after the first 6 levels. Oh my god, I thought it was a cakewalk. You could literally just stand in front of somebody and just shoot them, and then nothing, no challenge, until it gets nuts. It's not the quality, but the quantity of enemies that surround you, overwhelming you with so many blaster bolts hitting you in every single direction, especially when some of them might have a missile launcher. The ones you really have to be careful with, aside from the ones that have missile launchers, are the ones that have the balls to walk up to you and hit you. They give you way more damage than people with blasters. I personally love the level design, as it really does feel like I'm in the world of Star Wars. I love the details so much that just exploring the levels was so much fun. It looks really great for a PS2 game. No matter how hard the game got, I was determined to finish it because the story was so good. It adds a lot of layers and context, not only Attack of the Clones, but also to Jango Fett himself. The game shows different sides to Jango, even showing that he has humanity, that he does care about the people in his life, especially his friendship with Roz. I love this character. The entire time I thought she was gonna backstab me, but no, she's an absolute sweetheart, wanting Jango Fett to find someone to care for, not wanting him to be alone, and genuinely cares about his mental health, emotions, and safety, his physical safety. Jango Fett's the kind of guy who, if you show loyalty to him, if you have his back, he will do the same thing. But if you don't, what really surprised me, aside from the incredible story, was the fact that Jango Fett is voiced by Tamara Morrison himself, who also voiced the narrator in Battlefront 2.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe. With the fall of Coruscant and the elimination of the traitorous Jedi, Palpatine's rise to power was complete.
Blew my mind. I had no idea. I played Battlefront 2, the original, for PS2 for years. Honestly, this whole time I thought they got a really good impersonator, like they did for Hayden Christensen in the Clone Wars microseries. Speaking of which, Zem Wesell is also voiced by the actress who played her in Attack of the Clones. And like Jango Fett, we get to see more of her, understanding a relationship between her and Jango, and understanding more about what kind of person she is. My favorite thing about the game, aside from seeing how Jango gets the Slave One, and how he meets Darth Tyrannus and becomes the template for the clone army, it's not completely an origin story, but something I really love is you get to see and experience why he is the most fiercest bounty hunter in the galaxy, and why he was the smartest choice to be the template for the clone army for Darth Sidious's plans, especially him taking on a Dark Jedi. Now when you rewatch Attack of the Clones, it completely recontextualizes the fight between him and Obi-Wan. Giving Jango Fett the experience of fighting a Jedi-trained warrior makes this scene between him and Obi-Wan more intense, as it raises the stakes for Obi-Wan, especially now you know for a fact that Jango Fett is not out of his depth. And it also gives more nuance to the clones, because not only are they copies of Jango Fett, they were also trained by him as well. If your ultimate goal was to kill Jedi, what better way than to have the guy train your army who has knowledge of taking down a Jedi? Or at the very least, a Jedi-trained warrior. And honestly, I feel more sad at the death of Jango Fett now more than ever before, because I got to know who he was. And the game honestly gives you more perspective on how he was as a father. Like, I had an instinct that he was a good dad, but having confirmation is very nice. I strongly recommend the game, especially its story. If it gets hard, do not stop the game and go straight to YouTube. You're doing yourself a disservice. Trust me, every loss is one step closer to victory. Only if you keep trying.